quick class. Oh, yeah. All right.
I tell you what, a person who believes that this wasn't set up by our own government is an idiot.
Let us begin. And we're just going to begin where we began yesterday. Why not? What is an essay? Because before we can jump into the deep end, we need to, move our toes around in the 3 feet. We need to get used to the water a little bit. What is an essay, Ms. Baracco? Excellent. Yes, the essay is a group of organized paragraphs. And of course, to me, the most important word in this definition is organized, because that's what learning the writing process is about. It's about organization. For sure, you will not be successful in the task of the rhetorical essay if you do not learn how to organize. You have to learn the steps of the writing process back of your hand, and those steps you have to learn very well. The structure of the essay just becomes something that, hey, you got to know just going into trying to understand the rhetorical essay. That essay, or any essay, discusses a specific, something very specific, directly or indirectly, but the point is it has to be discussed in a very specific way. It can't be discussed in a haphazard way. Now, I know we discussed this yesterday. You need to check your notes to make sure you got the important information from these. Of course, we all know that initially when we learn this essay, we're going to learn pretty much the argumentative essay, the one that we're able to, include our personal opinions on. But not so with the rhetorical essay. It will take a different form. But the easiest way, in my opinion, to learn the structure of an essay is to deal with the argumentative essay, something we've all have been exposed to at some point or another. Ms. Minna, what are you doing? What are you looking at? What's going on? Who you giving the mean face at? Okay. Me? What is it, me? Oh, I had to be me or somebody. Okay, at any rate, first person, you're discouraged from using first person. However, nobody's saying that you absolutely can. There's no such thing. And of course, Henry David Thoreau, he showed us that in nonfiction writing, you can use first person. In some cases, you will. In some essays, you have to. It's just the only way. Okay. A process of going from your opinion to fact. That's basically what it is. Even if your opinion is very neutral and slightly opinionated, where someone can tell that you're trying to express something that you believe, any way you look at it, the reader does not automatically sit down with your essay and say this is a fact. They actually have to go through it. And you take them through that process, and hopefully by the end of that process, they agree or believe or accept the information if you're doing it in a very neutral way. Of course, unlike the short story. And we already talked about the old essay that your older brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles or whatever's wrote way back in the day. That was a short story. They called an essay. This is not. This is actual, the real deal. So this applies now more than it ever has in the past. It is not a short story. It is not a piece of fictional work. It's work based on facts, evidence. Okay, so that's what we discussed yesterday. Now, essays are, of course, about sequence and organization. Sequence and organization. It has to be. And it has to be clear to the reader. It can't be haphazard. You talk about this, just because you want. No. It's not off the hip. It's not spur of the moment. It's none of that. That's a short story. Everybody can write a short story, not even have to think about it. But an essay is very, very different. You have to give a lot of thought to what you're going to write long before you write it. And we will learn that in this writing process steps, actually writing the essay comes later rather than sooner. Okay, so organization is all about planning. That's what the writing process is about, learning how to plan. Now, I know you probably learned the writing process in the past. Wipe it from your memory. We're going to learn it over. There's only one way I will accept how. This ain't a democracy up in here right now. Sorry. We're not going to vote on how we're going to do it. It's one way we're going to do it, period. Now, if you want to do it a different way when you leave my class, that's up to you. And so, you know, you have that freedom. I can't force your hand in that. But in here is only one way. And we're going to go over that way, that writing process. So I'm pretty sure some of you have already learned how to write an essay, or how to organize, or how to plan it, and all that stuff. That's great, wonderful. I hope that what we do in here matches what you already know. But if not, forget what you know. Okay? If you can connect, you remember if you can connect the old stuff and new stuff, that's great. But if you can't make a connection, no, you need to get rid of the old stuff, okay? Replace it because, you know, we're in the here and now. I mean, of course, we always like to, you know, do the connection. Okay, so back to the definition. Back to this point, which is a very important point, and I can't express this enough. You have to understand with this essay with this essay that we are about to embark, this journey we're about to embark on to learn how to write this particular essay we're talking about, the one that we're going to spend just about the entire third quarter dealing with, is not based on your personal opinion. You're going to have to get rid of your opinionated writing self. And I know some of you have already developed that and all, you know, ready to sit down and talk about what you think, how you feel, what you believe. No, you got to get rid of that. That's over with. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know. I guess we have to decide that later. Our beautiful definition that you have to memorize. Now, if you see this definition, or if you see where you have to write this definition on a future test, and you didn't take the time to memorize it, it's not because I didn't give it to you. It's not because I didn't give it to you. I want you to remember all my special definitions. For the word, for the sentence, for the paragraph, and now for the essay. All those definitions. Mine, not the ones you found in the Webster's. It's mine. The one I gave you. Not the other ones. This one. Not that one. Okay. All right. So we said that, and we said that, and we said that, and now. Now, we're going to go over the types of essays, and I'm pretty sure one of them you've already learned how to write, or maybe more than one. That's great. Wonderful. Terrific. That's beautiful. And I hope that is the case. If you've never learned how to write an essay, this is going to be a really long few months. Okay, here we go. Different types of essays. Of course, we know the descriptive essay. Basic. You're just describing something. It's almost like a summary. You're just describing it. You want like a visual representation? There's a tree. Imagine you writing an essay about how the tree looks. Of course, there's a sequence. You're either going to start from the top and go down, or you're going to go start at the bottom and go up. I mean, you know, you're not going to start in the middle and then deal with the bottom and then deal with the top. That's crazy. Sequence of organization. So even in this descriptive essay, it still would be about sequence and organization. I guess we can divide it up into 3 paragraphs with the bottom, the middle, and the top, and, you know, go about our description of how amazing it looks. That's called a descriptive essay. We won't be doing that again. So, just this for your information, that FYI stuff. The definition essay. There are many terms that has so many meanings that in order to persuade somebody to agree with you on a particular meaning, you have to write like a definition essay. Of course, we know one of them is love. Something you know absolutely nothing about other than the love for mommy and daddy. Oh, and your brothers, of course, which you won't admit, your brothers and sisters, who you won't admit that you love. I know you do. So, but at any rate, everyone has their own definition and belief on what it means and all that stuff. That's why you would have to write a definition essay to get somebody to agree with how you view the definition of love, because it's one of those terms. And there are other terms like it. We get fear, courage, so on and so on. We can take those words that just have so many meanings to so many different people that you can write an essay about it. For sure, we can write an essay about that. It's called a definition essay. Okay. Compare and contrast. Probably you've written one of these. Compare and contrast. It's simple. It's simple. You compare things and you show the difference between them. That's compare and contrast essay. Really easy. Visual representation, that helps. But that's a compare and contrast essay. I don't know if you've ever written one of those before. Hopefully you have at some point. Oh, the comparison at the bottom? No, don't worry about it. It's just when you write an essay comparing something and showing the difference between these two things. You know what? I moved your table there because of what we were doing yesterday. Y'all actually can move over. Yeah, well, let me do it. It's better? Yeah? A little bit? Okay. We will rectify that problem by next lesson, because actually everything needs to shift over anyway because of how I had it yesterday. Okay. All right. All right. Cause and effect. Probably you've written one of these before. Cause and effect. We write an essay about how something made something else happen, or how something affected something else. Cause and effect. Students didn't take the presentation serious. That was the effect of that. A monumental presentation project that's going to cover just about the whole third quarter grade. Cause and effect. Of course, I didn't explain it as well as the man in the Matrix. You remember when he was causing him? You remember what's his name? What was his name? French guy. He had a French name. You didn't see good. You didn't see the Matrix. Good. Okay, that's good. Don't worry about it. Anyway, moving on. Yes. Okay, so cause and effect. Here's some visual representations of that, if you just can't figure out what it means. But I think you can, especially from the graphical representations. All right, so let's move on here. Narrative essay. Much like Walden. Much like Walden, the narrative essay. It's simple. It's like you're telling a story, but in the form of an essay, because while you're telling the story, you're trying to persuade people to agree to certain things or believe certain things. Walden. This has Walden written all over it. Although, of course, it's more than an essay, but many parts of it are definitely in the form of an essay, narrative, If you haven't read Walden, it's a great book. You should read it. You ever heard this book on Walden? You ever heard this book? You never heard the book Walden? No. Never heard of this book.
Some people ever heard of Walden?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's not one of those books that everybody's heard about. Whatever. Okay. The process essay. Hello. You want to show somebody how to turn a SIM card into a nano SIM? Write an essay about it. Write a process essay. You want to show somebody how to take their SIM card and turn it into a nano SIM, right? Want to explain that? Write it. You can write an essay. But that's what you would do. You would explain the process and explain how important it is for him to pay attention because you messed it up. You messed up your SIM card. You know. So probably technical. You know, maybe you can go to cnet.com. You might find a couple of these when they, do their how to do stuff, how to make stuff, how to fix stuff, how to build stuff, so forth and so on. Process. A process. It would be nice. We're not going to do it, but I would say it would be nice to have you to write a process essay on the task project. After we do the task project, you write the process essay about that. Would be anyway. We're not going to do that, but I'm just thinking. That's a good idea. You think we should do it?
Yeah.
The task project that we did.
We should do a...
You do know that was a task project. At any rate, if we had to do that, that's the type of essay that we would utilize. A process essay. For sure, it's about sequence. When you're telling somebody a process, I mean, you have to do it in a sequence. Can't be out of order, or you're going to have somebody messing something up. Okay, moving right along. Your favorite and mine, the argumentative essay. Everybody in here should know how to write that. That shouldn't be like some secret, top secret stuff. Right, Miss Nada? You know how to write the argumentative essay, right? You almost falling asleep in this part, huh? Okay. All right, well. Okay, so we all know how to write the argumentative essay. For sure, we did that because we thought when we first learned how to do it, we were going to have to do it on the SAT. But they surprised us. They changed it. So now, but we can still use the knowledge to help us understand the type of essay we're going to have to learn. So, we still can connect some of the old stuff to some of the new stuff, but not all of it, for sure. Argumentative essay, simple. You're arguing a point, and you're trying to get the person that's reading it to take your side. To take your side. Also known as the persuasive essay. If you want to, try to understand it more. Okay, critical essay, which is the closest essay type to what we're going to have to do on the redesign SAT. All right, so the critical essay, it analyzes the work of somebody else. Now, the rhetorical essay is specifically for something that was written. But under the umbrella of critical essay, you will find a rhetorical essay. The rhetorical essay covers everything. Like if you wanted to write a review about how racist Star Wars The Force Awakens is, then you probably would write a critical essay on that.
Was it racist?
Let's not go into that.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did.
And you didn't like it?
Yeah, I loved it. It was amazing other than the racist part. Okay, that's a discussion for another day. Okay, here we go. That's how it looks in graphical form. But my point is, you can do a movie, or you can do a book, or you can do a piece of artwork, or you can do anything. You can do a car, or you can write a critical essay about pretty much anything somebody else made, did, said, or performed.
Like judging?
It's almost like judging in a very detailed way, or explaining why you decided upon taking that, position on whatever it was. Yes, critical essay. Now, with that said, critical essays can include one's opinion. Yes, some critical essays, yes, can include your opinion. Maybe you're writing a critical essay about a movie you hate it, and you want to talk about how you hate it, how it's stupid, and all it is. That's not very neutral, but you can do that. You can do that. So understand that not all critical essays require you not to take a position, or require you to be neutral, or require you to only deal with the evidence, that's fact, and all that stuff. No, some critical essays can be very opinionated, almost to the point of being an argumentative essay. Okay, moving on. Those are the types of essays. Of course, the last type of essay is the type of essay or umbrella that our essay falls under, the one that we are, slowly getting to. And we're talking about slowly. The essay assignment. The essay assignment. The first step is understanding the assignment. The question. What you're being asked to do. If you don't understand that. This is an Islamic school. We'll talk about tomorrow.
That's rolling the hard way. We don't want to roll quite that hard. We want to get one of them little minibuses.
What's up?
A person who believes that this wasn't set up by our own government is an idiot.
Everybody's gone out of their mind.
Welcome to Mr. Quick's class.
Welcome to Mr. Quick's class. Welcome to Mr. Quick's class. Welcome to Mr. Quick's class.
Oh, yeah. All right.